Good morning, dear students. Hello and welcome to today's SSC class. Today we are going to read and understand lesson number 5, that is India's landforms. In this lesson, we are going to study about the physical features of our country. The various physical features that our country has are the mountains, plains, plateaus, deserts, islands, etc. And all these will be discussed further. So let's start the lesson. You all know that India is a big and a beautiful country. It has a variety of landforms: mountains, plateaus, plains, deserts, islands. So all these are the various landforms that India has. A map has been shown to you, and in that map you can see India's main landforms as well as the water bodies. The blue section of the map that you can see is the are both the water bodies of our country. In this map, you can also see that the southern part of India is surrounded by water on three sides. It is a peninsula. Now, what is a peninsula basically? A peninsula is a piece of land that is surrounded by water on three sides or on the maximum number of sides. Okay, so a peninsula is a piece of land that is almost surrounded by water, or we can say that is surrounded by water on three sides. India has oceans and seas to the east, west as well as south. You can also see on the map that on the eastern side of India we have the Bay of Bengal. On the western side we have the Arabian Sea, and on the southern side we have the Indian Ocean. So it is surrounded, India is surrounded by water on three sides. Its islands lies in the sea on the east as well as on the west also. On the eastern side, in the Bay of Bengal, we have the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and in the Arabian Sea on the western side, we have the Lakshadweep Islands. Now, based on the landforms, India has been divided into 6 broad regions. Now, according to the landforms that are present in India, like the various mountains, plateau regions, or the various plain regions, so India has been divided into 6 broad regions, that is the northern mountains on the top, the northern plains below that, then we have the Thar Desert, the peninsular plateau, the coastal plains, and the islands. So, the first region that we are going to study today is the northern mountain. We all know that a number of high mountain ranges form the northern boundary of India. The northmost of these is the Karakoram range. The topmost range that is in the northern mountains is the Karakoram range. Just below that we have the Himalayas. Now the Himalayas are also divided further into 3 ranges. The northmost of the Himalayas are the Greater Himalayas, then we have the Lesser Himalayas, and the southernmost are the Outer Himalayas. The Greater Himalayas or the topmost Himalayas have world's highest peaks. Among these are the Mount Everest, which is in Nepal, and we all know that it is the highest peak in the world, and Kanchenjunga, which is in India, and that is also the third highest peak. These mountains or these mountain ranges acts as natural barriers for the country. Now, what is a glacier? We all know that the peaks of these high mountains are mostly covered with snow. When lots of snow is collected, they take the shape of glaciers, and when these glaciers move down towards their slope, a glacier is actually a very large mass of ice that moves slowly down the slope. When they move slowly down the slope, they reach some warmer parts of the mountains where these glaciers melt. When they melt, they take the shape of rivers. So that is why we say that maximum rivers come from the mountains. Some of the important rivers that come from these mountains or from the Himalayan mountains are the Ganga that comes from Glacier Gangotri and Yamuna that comes from Glacier Yamunotri. Apart from the rivers, the Himalayas also have many beautiful valleys. What is a valley? A valley is an area that is between two mountains. So there are many beautiful valleys in India in the greater Himalayas or in the Himalayas. Some of the valleys that are mentioned here are the Kashmir Valley, the Dehradun Valley, or we also call it the Doon Valley, the Mussoorie Valley, the tea gardens of Darjeeling, the Nainital Valley, and the Shimla Valley. These also have famous hill stations which are the major tourist attraction points. Next, we are going to study about the life in the mountains. We all know that it is very difficult to live in the mountain areas, as it's difficult to build roads over there, to build railways, or even to build houses. And having towns over there is also one of the difficult tasks. We know that not many people live in the mountains, as the life conditions in the mountains are harsh. The cold climate makes it unsuitable for living conditions. Fruits such as apples, pears, walnuts, peaches, plums, etc. are grown in the Himalayas or in the mountains, as the climate is suitable for growth of such fruits. Towards the eastern Himalayas, tea is mainly grown. People do other works like herding animals, tourism, making handicrafts like carpets and woolen things, and this is the only way to earn a living for them.